hear me clearly, kindly tap or write yes under the comment section, please. Those who are online should let me know if they can hear me clearly, please. I'm patiently waiting. Please, if you can hear me clearly, please. Can you hear me, please? Okay, fine. Raimat Muhammad said she can hear me clearly. So let me assume everybody can hear me. Yeah, good morning. We have been examining the subfield of the field of sociology called social psychology, and we have said it that social psychology is the study of how group behavior influences individuals' behavior, how your presence in other people's lives is affected by their own thoughts, feelings, attitudes, behavior. So, I'll be examining the concept of altruism. Altruism. It's a concept that most of us are very familiar with, but we still need to re-examine the concept to fit in to the field of social psychology. When you say altruism, you are talking about the principles or practices or showing concern for the welfare and happiness of other humans or possibly animals. The concept is a very important moral value in societies of the world. When I say something of important moral values around the world, we are making particular reference to those attitudes of ours, those behaviors that we exhibit, the sense of dialogue, the love, kindness that we show to other members of the society. There is no society of the world without its own value, and the values also varies according to the compositions of any society you find yourself. Altruism is a concept that is as old as humans, because from creation, animals and humans have always shown care, kindness, and love to, to others. It is very important to distinguish altruism from feelings of loyalty, or let me say concerns for the common good. Some of these issues are predicated upon social relationships. The relationship you build with people determines the level of altruism they show, except we have exceptional cases where people stand to be different. The term or the word altruism can as well be referred to as, let me say, possibly an ethical doctrine that claims that individuals, are morally oblate. When I say are morally oblate, I'm saying you have moral obligations. It is not a must. Some moral obligations are not compulsory, but it is expected that as a member of the society, you must work in such a way that your principles will cut across moral obligations. And these moral obligations involves you helping others, you extending hands of friendship to other people in the society. You see those who are in need, you try to provide solutions to their problems. You see those who are suffering, you try to find solutions to their problems. These are the various things that are needed under the concept of altruism. You know, it is very, very important that we take consideration, or we put into consideration, the nature of the society we live in. The field of social psychology is same everywhere, but the areas of application differs, because this is Nigeria, another country is America, there is another country, United Kingdom. It varies, so as moral obligations. That is, a critical example can be found in these two scenarios. When you travel out of the country, you know, when you travel out of the country, you begin to realize that there are people who don't care. The type of homogeneous relationship we have here, where people love themselves, they show care, they show concern, it's not applicable in some other places of the world. It is you and your business in this part of the world that I just mentioned. But you may likely find exceptional or distinguishing situations where we live in Nigeria because of the way people extend hands on friendship to others. You know, um, it's more or less like helping behavior, and individuals from time to time are expected to exhibit signs of helping behavior. Helping behavior simply refers to voluntary actions, you know, intended to help others, whether you expect reward, because in recent times, you agree with me that people just don't help on neutral grounds. There are people who will help you on the basis of what they want to get in return. And there are people who will help you on the normal ground because they need no reward or incentive from you. It is a type of personal behavior that involves voluntary action. The voluntary actions, however, are intended to help, or to benefit another individual or group of individuals. Don't forget, in the field of social psychology, the concept of group is very important, because the field of social psychology itself has its subject matter that cuts across how group behavior influences individuals' behavior, or how the presence of others in our lives influences or change our attitude or behavior to things. Altruism itself can as well be distinguished from helping behavior, because I said few minutes ago that it is more or less, but it is not. It is not. Get this now, please. Altruism simply refers to pro-social behaviors that are carried out without expectation or obtaining, you know, any form of external reward. Let me say external reward, let me call it social reward. When you engage yourself in altruistic behaviors, you are helping others on the basis that you have been convinced that your help is pro-social, and altruistic acts are carried out without expecting anything in return. For example, there are people who would donate to charity homes without, without expecting anything in return. There are people who just make donations, without without expecting those persons to pay them back. Class, please. If the class is okay, please, I need you to tap yes and possibly share for the sake of those who are not online, please. I hope you can hear me clearly, and I hope you are getting everything I'm saying clearly, please. You may type in the comment section your questions or things you don't understand, please. We'll be rounding up in the next 30 minutes, possibly. But I need you to be, dropping messages or comments if everything I'm saying you are getting them and it's very understanding. Altruism is a selfless act of helping others. Selfless. You are not expecting anything from anyone. The moment yes, somebody just said, is that what philanthropic gestures are all about? Yes, but philanthropic gestures cut across both altruistic acts and helping behavior. Somebody can be, there are people who just don't help on neutral ground. You look at them like, this person is good, is a good person, is doing this for people, is doing that. But there are some who expect things in return, no matter how generous they are. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that altruism is a selfless act, and it just involves helping others without expecting, anything in return. It's often, considered as one of the defining characteristics of what it takes to be a human. Altruistic acts are one of the things that we should possess that makes us human. Because as a human being, you must sympathize with others. As a human being, you must help others. However, in the process of helping people, there are people who will, pay back with evil. But my fellow humans, an eye for an eye makes the entire world go blind. There is no point, thinking about those who have paid with evil, in as much as you have done something you are convinced that only God can judge you for. So in contemporary societies that is so complex, that's the same way humans are complex. Understanding human being is a very complex thing that is very difficult. That is why in the field of sociology we find it so difficult to predict the human mind. We only make use of objective facts, to generalize. Somebody just asked, is this for 100 level? No, this is for 200 level, but it is a general thing that anybody can learn from. So some of us have heard about the golden rule of karma. The golden rule of karma, or loving your neighbors the way you love yourselves, or you may already be familiar with something like the basics of altruism or prosocial behavior. Yes, love your neighbor as you love yourselves, but recent activities of humans have shown that you should never love your neighbor more than you love yourself. And the concept of karma in recent time has also been faulted, because people will do a lot of bad things to you and you still see that God is, after they have been able to seek for forgiveness, they continue to grow, and things continue to be okay for them. So it is very crucial that we take all these things into consideration. So as time goes on, you life generally is very difficult to understand. The same thing, the same thing applicable to individuals at personal levels, because the society we live in right now. Sorry, there was an interruption in network. Please, those who are online, can you hear me clearly? Please. Now we have types of altruism. We have types. One is kin altruism, and this happens when you unselfishly support your family members and loved ones, or when you make some kind of personal sacrifices on their behalf. Kin altruism. The word kin itself refers to a kind of bond that involves the family as a social institution. I said kin altruism happens or occurs when you unselfishly rather, not well, selfless, unselfishly is almost the same thing. So when you unselfishly extend acts of friendship to those who are your family members, that is what we call kin altruism. For instance, um, giving your clothes to some of them when they are cold, caregiving for a relative with possibly chronic conditions, donating blood or major organ part of your body to your siblings. Well, there are some of you that I know very well that you can donate your kidney, your liver, or anything to your family members. That is possible. So that's what we call kin altruism. An example also is possibly maybe when you take foster care, or you try to foster or adopt a family member's child. Those are kin altruism. Then we have reciprocal altruism. To reciprocate, it simply means when you do it, you want people to do something for you. That's why I said altruism as a concept involves an act that you render to others without expecting anything in return. I now went further to say that it is not all altruistic acts that are selfless. There are people who come into altruistic acts with selfishness. Then this type of altruism, reciprocal altruism, can be applied to this part. This occurs when you help someone knowing that at some point they may help you in the future. you know you are helping somebody, and because of what you have done to them, in the nearest future they may likely reciprocate by doing other things. Maybe you borrow a friend money who has sometimes ago helped you to cover bills, or even some of you have helped your classmates with a project. Who Like, when I say project, I'm just talking about you helping them because maybe somehow, somewhat, somewhere they have been able to put you through things that you don't understand. Or maybe you help your neighbor carry things when you know that one day you come back with a lot of things too, and such neighbor may likely help you. Or then we have cultural altruism, cultural group altruism. This involves the support we render to someone who is part of a group that we know we're associated with, including ethnic groups or social groups or tribal groups. For instance, you are Igbo and you are extending hand of friendship to your Igbo brothers that stays at Park Road, Gwagwalada, that stays at Ajegunle in Lagos, that stays at Alaba in Lagos, that is in Sabongeri in Kano. You help them because you know they are all your brothers, and you need to help them because they may likely help you to in the future. Then we have pure altruism. Pure, pure. When you say something is pure, it is pure. It is white. There is no stain. This involves helping someone, so maybe from a piece of empathy, you know, knowing that you will see no benefit, and at the end of the day, you make such sacrifices even in high situations. For instance, you are driving by and you ran into an accident victim whose same blood expectation is as yours, like they are to transfuse blood into the person's system, and you try to donate blood, and after the donation you find your way, and that's pure altruism. Then the next type of altruism can be found in the lecture notes that we may likely get later, because this is online class and I know most people are not online due to one or two reasons. Then what are the various benefits of altruistic acts? We don't just help people. There is somebody possibly somewhere that may pay us back what we have done for others. Some of us have gotten or received great news. People have blessed us. People have helped us in situations that we don't even expect. It could be possibly because we have helped others in the past, because it is not everyone that gets required help or attention at every point in time. There are good people in our society, but most of them are so good to the extent that when it is their turn to get help, they don't get. It is not by their power, it is by the composition, by as ordained by God. So for everyone, altruism may take the word to be a kind place, because altruistic acts makes the society a better place for everybody to live. But in some situations, it turns out that there are numerous benefits of altruism to our physical and emotional well-being, and at the same time we may be very or highly helpful to others in the society, and at the end of the day it still doesn't stop us from getting us. But what is very important is that we should always be ready. We should always be ready to help those who who are in need of help at every time. The rewards that come from helping others can be lasting in some instances, and at the same time it could be palpable, because clinical psychologists, which is one of the various branches of the field of psychology, they have done a lot of research on the concept of altruism, and I think there is one Dr. Kalamandi, who is a clinical psychologist. They did a lot of research on the concept of altruism, and they found out that helping behavior, or the rewards that come from helping behavior, can be very lasting, and at the same time palpable. You know, individuals who are emotionally, mentally, and possibly behaviorally compassionate tend to thrive in, let's say, personal and interpersonal levels. People who are good in situations get generous acts, support from others, Nobody likes a bad person. We all love good persons, and we should also try to be very, good to others in whatever we do, extending acts of friendship to others, showing others passion that you believe so much in humanity. Our religion, culture, preaches, love, kindness. These are things people should expect from those who are members of the various social groups they belong to. Don't forget the theme or the subject matter of the field of social psychology is that it studies how group behavior influences individuals' behavior, how the presence of others in your life, what they do around you, what they do to you, what they do to others, the influence of their behavior, their thoughts, their feelings on you as an individual. When such factors affects your own behavior, it in turn affects the society at large, because by the virtue of you being a member of the society, you must, you know talk to people, interact with people, and try to maintain social values and norms. An altruistic act or helping behavior is one of the social values of Africans. It's one of the social norms of Nigerians, irrespective of your ethnic tribe, irrespective of your religious denomination. Every religion, every ethnic tribe preaches peace and love. So research also supports that the fact that altruistic behaviors are associated with greater, let's say, overall physical health, longevity, happiness, and well-being of others. It is of utmost importance that we know that altruism and pro-social behaviors include: one, it enhances social connections. Now I'm highlighting the benefits of altruistic behavior or benefits of altruism. It enhances social connections. It increases your level of let me point let me pick the points and explain one after the other. One, it enhances social connections. It enhances what? Social connection. uh Somebody said, but good people suffer a lot sometimes. I know, but that should not stop you from being a good person. Whoever is good will account for who his or her own deeds. Whoever is bad will also account for his or her own deed. So the benefits of altruism includes: one, it enhances social connections. When I say it enhances social connections, I'm talking about the saying that it is your network that determines your net worth. The number of persons you have in your life, the number of persons, individuals who can shape your life, the number of people who can, contribute greatly to your personality development will go a long way in determining or deciding who you become, or your level of social status or social connection in the society. It equally increases one's sense of belonging. When you extend hands of friendship to others, you see the value in them. You continue to see the reasons you need to be very close to them. Then three, it increases or improves our mental health. When you are good, you are good. You have rest of mind. You, even if people pay you with evil, the position of a good person's the position of good persons will never be erased in the eyes of the person that created all of us. So just continue to be good. It also, protects individuals against cognitive decline. When I say cognitive decline, I'm talking about our mental processes, our cognitive compositions. So it gets as a protecting factor against cognitive decline, against decrease in our mental processes. It also provides us sense of purpose. It also reduces sense of loneliness when we associate with others, and it as well relieve us of physical pain. Then also, there are different ways to foster altruism. When I say different ways to foster altruism, I'm talking about ways, to build altruism, to nurture it. One is to consider mindfulness, consideration of mindfulness. Consider mindfulness. Mindfulness, is the practice of staying in the present moment, your present situation. You should be very conscious of your present situation. When you learn to disengage from distractions, this may further open you possibly to notice the world around you right here, right now. For example, a person who is homeless or who is unhoused on the street, then at the site of possibly a place of worship or a community gathering in a good of watering, all these opportunities can be given altruistically. Mindfulness, because your present situation will lead you to certain unexpected conditions, and in such conditions you are favored because those in those places are mindful of their present situation, and they are also mindful of other people's present conditions. Then you try to grow in empathy. To enhance your empathy, you may consider things like maybe um, trying to give people listening ears, attending to people's complaints and their and suggestions. When you show empathy to people, you are upholding all these virtues. Then maybe following people on social media who are different from you, learning from them, or some of us in recent times follow pastors, motivational speakers, because we are mindful of the content creation, the also sorry of the contents they create online. Maybe you listen actively and attentively to other people's perspective, ideas, especially people you disagree with, checking in with neighbors, workers, and then three, starting small help also foster altruistic acts. Many people can incorporate altruism into their everyday life because it is very important, whether small acts of kindness or bigger acts of kindness. Some of us may not be able to do great things. There are many of us who want to do great things, but they cannot do great things now. They can only do little. But I can categorically state here that you may not be able to do much now, or you may not be able to do great things now, but you can do little things with great love. You know, then also consider group efforts. In some instances or in some situations, you feel nervous about walking into a new vulnerable situation. Then you may find it helpful if you reach out to a friend or loved ones and try to see if they will be willing to join you in building your life and other things. Then you try to find the right fit. When I say to find the right fit, as you try to develop the practice of altruism, you try to find a good social group to ensure that you don't over extend yourself. Uh, then we also have to consider the fact that altruistic acts varies from societies to societies, and I can tell you that if we are committed to an activity that resonates, we can become more invested over time. Please get this last statement. As you give back to others honestly, it is important to engage good self-care and solid boundaries, because this will ensure that you care for yourself while also caring for others. As you give back, please take cognizance or make it an important thing that you must engage in your own personal self-care and also maintain solid boundaries, you know, to ensure that you care for yourself in the process of giving back to others. These are the things we are to examine, or we just examined on altruism. Please, whoever is willing to join physically, I can allow you, so you ask your questions and we interact. Or you drop your yes. Zuleifa said, "Sir, can altruism increase social connection too?" Yes, it increases your level of social connection. Yes, it does. It is very important. And someone said, "What are the smallest things we can do to help the poor apart from money?" When they say somebody is poor, money is very important to such people. But when you see people that are extremely poor, provide them materials that can make them meet up with their basic needs. Someone said, could we connect altruism to karma? Of course, there is a connection between altruistic behaviors and karma, because the law of karma says that whatever you get in, whatever you do, you get in return. But in recent situations, it is not everything you do that you get in return, because it seems karma itself is sleeping. So you have to be very conscious of the society you live in, not to, limit the things you do with people. But be a good person. It is very, 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 very important. Be a good person. Show act of kindness. Show love. Show concern. Show, empathy to other members of the society. This is what makes the world a good place for all to live. When people do bad things to you, there is no point paying them back. Get yourself involved in real altruistic behaviors. Just help people and expect nothing in return. And those of you who expect things in return, if you are at the end of the day failed or disappointed, do not feel too bad. It is in human nature to do that. Please, the questions. Is there any question?